It's the Zach Sang Show. Zach Sang Show.
The Zach Sang Show. We welcome the wonderful, the talented, the you're stunning, Emeli Sande.
Hi.
Hello. Did he pronounce that right? Because I know
Yes.
people mess up your name all the time.
Yeah, no, that was good. I heard a
Nice.
lot of different pronunciations.
It was a very interesting road for you when you first approached America from the UK.
Yes.
Like, how do you summarize that time in your life?
Pretty mental, like pretty fast, pretty hectic, but it was all just exciting, like new things, new cities I've never been to before. So it was all like just experiencing a lot of senses at once.
And what were the people? Because did you feel like you had to reintroduce yourself? Because you did, kind of.
Yeah.
Was it like, I feel like humbling because you're coming off of the UK, 4 million records back then. I mean, more now. I mean, you are huge there.
Yeah, I mean, it felt good for me because, I really didn't know what to expect in the UK. So coming to America, I was like, okay, cool. Well, we get to start from zero again. And this time I can kind of pace it the way I want. But it was just great. There's a real freedom in the States. It's just so big. So you can kind of just really be yourself over here. And there's a lot of passion.
And like the other thing, you're right. It is big. There is a lot of passion. It's a very different world. And the music is really different.
Yes.
Is there a scene you prefer more than the other?
I mean, I love soul music. A lot of music I listened to as a kid was from over here.
Yeah.
So I love soul, I love hip hop. I love like black music in America. I think it's really inspiring for all of us at the UK.
Hell yeah. I like the music there now. It's a very different scene than here a little bit.
Yeah, there's a different, in London you can feel that is the sound of London, if that makes sense.
No, you're right.
But it's like a real, it's pretty eclectic because we've all kind of grown up listening to a lot of different genres on the radio. Yeah. But now, there's a new confidence which I'm really feeling in London.
And it's a smaller group of musicians in the UK. Do you know everybody really? Because
we've at least seen everyone once somewhere. Yeah.
Teen Awards, whatever. There's 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the UK. I would like to live there one day.
Okay, cool.
But America is my home.
Yeah.
Dan just wants to get rid of me, right?
No, you're good.
Breathing underwater.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
That is.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Tell me the story.
Breathing Underwater, I wrote that with a producer called Chris Loco. He was one of the first people I met when I moved to London. And we just had this really long conversation for the verses and the chorus on separate occasions. And then it just started coming out. It was like I was like, hey, I believe in miracles because it's a miracle I'm here. And he's like, write that down. It was literally like this conversation just coming out and then it just all became a song.
So you came in with no idea, no concept. It was just all in the moment.
Yeah, just all in the moment. Like we really went deep in conversation. We're only supposed to have like a 2-hour session, turned into like 5 hours, and then we just caught the wave really.
Wow. I mean, it's a beautiful record.
Thank you.
It really is, top to bottom, a really great listen, an incredible story. Is there a part of you that feels like, we just had the conversation yesterday with John Legend, right? Like when he makes music, right, he just makes music for art. And if it's marketable and somebody thinks they can market it and sell it, then great, right? But great music doesn't always become the number one record. It's not always, it's not always the one everybody's going to love.
Yeah.
When you put your all into a song like Breathing Underwater, do you have to have that level of acceptance that like, I love it, the world's going to love it for what it is and the story that it tells, but it might not be next to me.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, you just have to, because as soon as you try and write a hit, it sounds
like, you can tell.
Contrived, and it sounds like you've tried. You can hear the thinking in the music. So, I don't know, when you just get that perfect match of melody and lyric and the real sentiments in it, then you can just hope for the best and see what happens.
What do you think about artists that go into the studio looking to craft a hit and they feel like they have the science behind what it takes to make a hit?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really function in those type of sessions because, when music becomes maths, it becomes pretty impossible. And it takes the passion out of the music. It's important to have somebody it's important for yourself to critique what you're doing and like minimize, how long you need to say something. But I can't do the formulaic stuff. It doesn't, I don't know the equation. I don't think.
I've never figured out the equation.
Yeah.
I just be me and create art.
Yeah.
You go.
Well, as an artist who can actually sing, what do you think of some of the singers today who really can't do it live? Like, you've watched award shows and it's rough.
I don't know. I feel like the concept of an artist today is so different.
Yeah.
You know, and there's things that I'm only now starting to understand, like the art in dance and a lot of visual arts. So I don't think it's my place to kind of, judge anyone else's art, because mine is singing and songwriting. That's what I love to do. But I feel like other people express themselves in different ways. So
Rihanna,
that was a good answer.
but admittedly, it did take you a second, right? Because as a real artist and a genuine musician, if you look at somebody like Rihanna, right, and the way she crafts her hits, she gets every best writer and producer and puts them in a house and says, "Go to work." And that's not necessarily her strength, but I guess one could say her strength is the character that is Rihanna, and that's the art, and from the outfits to the pyro or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not a musician, so I don't know. But you could look at that and say, that's it. But it takes time to appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, especially when I listen to Rihanna's new album, I feel like that's when she's really starting to take control as an artist, and things that she would. Well, I assume. Well, I guess she loves all her hits. But I mean,
right?
this album, I really felt like I got more depth from her. And just as I might grow, like visually, I don't think I'm ever going to start dancing. But when I start to understand that world more, then there's growth in different areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me the story about Hurts.
Hurts was one of the last songs written for the album. I wrote it with Phil Lee and Matt Holmes, and it's just a big explosion of emotions, and it's what it is.
Did it hurt to write?
No, it was really fun to write, actually. Yeah.
Was it freeing because you were hurt and you needed to get it out?
Yeah, it was like, there you go. Like, that's it. And it was, no censorship, nothing. Just, this is the truth. And to finally get it out and kind of semi-rap was pretty fun.
How would you get out your emotions if you didn't have music? Do you ever think of that?
Maybe I'd be like, I don't know, a boxer or like something just as intense.
A human being would bleed by my fists. Beneath Your Beautiful is one of... might be like my top 5 favorite songs of all time.
Oh, wow.
You and Labyrinth and Mike Posner. Did you write it with Mike, or did he come to the table with it finished?
Yeah, they had the first verse and the chorus done, and then they said, do you want to come in? And we kind of me and Lab just went through the second verse together. But yeah, it was all pretty much done, the chorus and everything. And I heard it, I thought, wow, this sounds really big and like a very beautiful song. So that whole process was beautiful.
Just thinking the song gives me goosebumps.
Wow.
But that, from my mind, just back to the conversation we were just having, right, of an incredible song, wishing it could have been a bigger hit and wishing that more people would have loved it. That was a song that I was pushing here in the States.
Yeah.
And it just didn't get the traction that I believed it could have, because for whatever reason, I was disappointed by it. Not by the song, but by America almost, because it is so beautiful. It is so meaningful.
Yeah, I love that song, and it really resonated in the UK.
It did.
So we performed it over here a few times, and it's just, that's when you realize how massive the States are.
Yeah.
It was like you feel like a tiny drop in this big, massive ocean, really. So, when we perform the songs, people did connect, but there's just so many different places you need to play it, or kind of to get people's acknowledgement of it. But hopefully one day, maybe 5 years from now, it'll be in a film or something, and people might finally hear it.
I will help bring that song back when the time is right.
Thank you.
Seriously, I listen to it all the time still.
Oh wow,
it's really and I'm a huge Mike Posner fan, and I think he's such an incredible artist.
He's brilliant.
Next to Me, would you consider that one of your most life-changing songs?
Yeah, definitely. That was the real breakthrough in the UK.
Yeah.
I'd had songs that were a bit more I don't know if you want to go underground, or a bit more specific to genre. So Next to Me was the first kind of pop breakthrough there, and then over here as well, performing it is wicked, seeing people know it here.
People loved it here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know every word to it.
Cool.
Can you tell me the story behind that song?
Next to Me, I wrote that song with 2 British producers called Craze and Hoax, and we were in their bedroom actually, and
cool.
we were just on the computer, and then we were going through this piano loop, and it came, and then it got more and more organic as we made it. We got live choir, we got live piano played, everything, and I still love singing that song.
When you look at the States, right, what is your plan of action? What is your plan of impact, right? How do you plan on resonating with people here? Do you have one, or is it just let your art speak?
Yeah, I mean, that's as far as my plan goes, but I'm hoping that
everybody else has a plan.
I hope other people have a better, more structured plan. But for me, I mean, it's great to have a team around you that can try and spread it as far as possible, but if the song isn't connecting, then it isn't connecting. So I've made music that's true to me, and I hope speaks to people, and we'll just see what happens from there, really.
What is your writing process? Like, do you get inspiration? You keep notes? How does it work for you? Like, when you go into the studio, like we were talking about that once, Breathing Underwater, right? That was formed in the studio. But are you gathering inspiration consistently and forming from there? How does it work?
I think so. I feel like I'm just kind of absorbing inspiration. Different conversations usually like spark concepts in my head. I don't know. It's usually late at night and just chilled. I have to be around people I really trust to kind of express everything, and then we just kind of try and capture the magic there and then, and just get a good recording, and that's it.
Are you like do you try to do it in one take? What's your style?
Yeah, there's a few songs on the album that I did in one take that feel like the realest, rawest songs. But no, I do get a bit like over the top trying to make it perfect.
Yeah.
But sometimes then you just lose the essence.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, the new album, Long Live the Angels, has this been in the works since the previous album? Was that 3-4 years ago that came out?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't feel there was a period where I stopped writing. I was just kind of collecting the best songs, or the songs that I felt tick that chapter in my life at that time. So yeah, I continue to write, but maybe the past year was when I thought I have to focus on this 1,000%.
So that took a while to get the album out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
4 years.
Well, I mean, writing the entire time, or I mean, have you got? So how many songs did you create for this album in total, and how many made it onto the album?
Okay, there's 15 songs on the album, 18 on the deluxe.
Cool.
So, yeah, there's, I mean, literally hundreds of songs that maybe, hopefully, you can use for the next album or whatever. But yeah, there were a lot of songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where do they all live? Are they on somebody's hard drive somewhere?
My laptop, and like, just sitting there. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool.
Hope we can get more out soon.
Are you worried about album sales? Because your first one sold tons of albums, but does it even matter anymore with streaming how it is today?
Oh yes, I mean, it's such a different music industry, really. I mean, I'd love it to sell a lot of copies, and I'd love a lot of people to like it, but it's really out of my control. I feel like as soon as I said this is the album, it was really out of my control. So I mean, hopefully, but we'll just.
That's nerve-wracking a little.
Yeah, but because I had no expectations for the first album, and I feel like the only reason it connected was because people, enjoyed the stories or connected to the stories. So, I feel it's just up to destiny. It's just like, I really just feel a bit of a theory about it. Like, it would be amazing, but you can't force music on people.
No.
And if they like it, then they'll get a copy.
How do you like the music business, or are you just strictly art?
I mean, it's great that so many creative people in one place, but it's an interesting business. It's hard to put business and music together.
Yeah.
So I feel it's compromise. I want people to know about the album. I want to kind of spread the word. So it's kind of just getting that balance right.
What is the biggest difference between somebody listening to music in the UK and somebody listening to the music here in the States? Do you know? Or is there a difference, or are we all the same?
Oh, I'm not sure. Over here, I feel like there's a lot of specialist channels.
Yeah.
So if you only want to listen to one genre of music all day long, you could do that. And I mean, I guess there is that in the UK, but there's a lot more of different things might drop in. So your ears kind of accustomed to more sounds, I think.
That's it. Faster rotation on songs, so there's more of a steady stream of new music. It's a different category. It's programmed beautifully, but it's programmed differently. You're right.
Yeah. But now I feel now with the internet that everyone's kind of getting on the same listening spectrum.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like our ears are open to everything now. It's up to us.
Spotify is changing the game.
Yes.
But it's also it's also allowing a lot of room for a lot of artists. Mm-hmm. There's a fan base for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really cool. I mean, especially this time around, releasing this album compared to the last one, it's like you can just be like, it's out, and the whole world can hear it all at the same time. And it's daunting on one hand, but also it's just inspiring that at a click of a button, the whole world can hear a new song. Yeah.
Technology. Science.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Wi-Fi. Yeah.
What is your radio station of choice in the UK?
I love Kiss. I love Radio 1.
Okay.
Yeah, the BBC really put on like quality.
You're not a Capital girl?
Yeah,
Maybe
sometimes.
BBC Radio 1's perfect. I mean, it's beautifully done.
Yeah,
and it's quite the variety, and you never know what you're really going to hear next.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's just everything. Especially in London, you get so many different stations. So
yeah,
if you don't like the song, you can just
change to the next one.
Yeah.
Now, this might be a dumb question. If it is, just let me know. Just say that was dumb. But so you do have a medical background, right? You were in school.
Yes.
Do you ever write songs about medicine? Or like that part of your life?
No, but strangely enough, there's the intro for the album. It's kind of going over like anatomy. So like I did go into a little bit of stuff that I learned, but not, to be honest, not really. No.
So what do you retain from those moments? Like, can you tell me every bone in my body?
Sadly not. I feel like I've lost so much knowledge. It's been about 6 years since I studied, but...
What did you want to do? What was the first goal before music?
I wanted to go into either psychiatry or neurology.
Cool.
But I knew it was a lot of work, so I don't know how well I would have done, but that was the dream.
I mean, different work, different focus, that same passion, that same energy, just focus to music.
Yeah, hopefully.
Just
a little more
books.
Chilled out.
Yeah, a little different. Not as much studying.
Yeah.
You memorize things you want to know, like your song lyrics.
Exactly, yeah, it's a bit... Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
What do you do while you're here in LA? Like, do you go out? Do you see people? How often are you here?
I'm here quite a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Usually, I really like the water. I love going down to the beach.
Cool.
Hopefully going to go there tonight. But yeah, I just kind of drive around. Well, I don't drive.
So somebody drives you around?
Driven around.
When's the last time you drove a car?
Like 2 weeks ago. Like,
that's
I drive
pretty
11,
good.
Yeah.
I was ready for like a Hillary Clinton answer, and Hillary Clinton goes, "I haven't driven a car since like 1990 or like 1989."
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's had Secret Service protection forever.
Well, you performed for Obama, right?
Yes.
How was that? Was a lot of pressure?
Yeah, pretty nerve-wracking, but very inspiring. Like the whole evening, he made everyone feel very relaxed, and it was for Carole King as well. So it was an honor to be there. But yeah, pretty cool. Nerve-wracking.
It's like you get up on stage and he's just staring at you and just draw a blank.
Yeah, they were literally there, and I was like, "Here's your most famous song."
What do we think of Theresa May and Brexit across the pond?
Yeah, I think everyone's still a little bit in shock about that.
Shaken.
I think it was, no one was expecting that. And so many changes all at once. It was literally the most craziest week in politics or in the news. Every time you change, we had a new prime minister. This has happened. Someone's resigned.
Nigel Farage is being a piece of somewhere, Yeah. I followed it from the States. No, you don't know this guy.
I don't know who that is.
He's like their Donald Trump almost, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. It's it was a bit crazy.
In a nutshell, this guy convinced the entire country to leave the EU, and then like 3 weeks later, he decides to take him and his family and declare citizenship in Germany. Like, he's nutso.
Oh,
nutso.
Yeah, that was pretty dramatic. And now everyone's trying to pick up the pieces and just hoping that things can get a bit stronger.
The Queen, I follow the Queen. I'm a big UK fan, dude. I don't know if
follows her.
I stalk her everywhere. I'm a big Queen fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to understand a monarchy, and maybe we can have one here. We have Beyonce, I guess.
Yeah,
we have Kim Kardashian.
Cool.
It's different.
Quickly, how was it like working with Jay Electronica?
Amazing. I just think he's a genius, and lyrically he inspires me so much. So I met him, it was all very natural. I met him with Naughty Boy at his studio, and then we just ended up hanging out over that summer, and I played them the music, and it all just came together really nicely. And he's amazing. His energy is just like out of this world.
Do you ever ask him like, "Hey, when are you going to put your album out?"
Yeah, all the time. Like, he's got so much amazing music, and I think when people finally hear it, it's he'll blow everyone away.
What do we think of Naughty Boy? I don't know much about him except for the Zayn thing.
Oh, Naughty Boy is amazing. Like, he's one of my closest friends, and you have to meet him to really get it. But he's very, very special.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Bring him in.
Who else do you like? I mean, who else in the UK scene is a friend of yours?
Who else? Professor Green. Well, I worked with him on the last album, and he's a really cool guy. Labyrinth.
Oh, come on.
Labyrinth, obviously. And yeah, just different. Well, when Zayn was coming to the studio, that was cool. Kind of met him.
Do we see Sam Smith around? Where has he been?
I see him now and again, but I think he's been pretty busy. Yeah. I
don't say he hasn't been in the States. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not here, we don't talk about you, which is a terrible thing to be, a terrible way to be, out of sight, out of mind. I was just thinking of him the other day. I was like, I miss Sam Smith.
Yeah,
you know?
I think he'll be coming back soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have plans to work with Kendrick Lamar again? Because you did that a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I don't have plans to, but I'm really inspired by him, and to work with him again would be wicked.
Wow.
Awesome.
Everything from Breathing Underwater to Theresa May to Brexit to Naughty Boy.
Also, I got to mention, when I went to Ireland, what was it, a couple years ago, everyone's like, you got to listen to the song Heaven.
Oh, wow.
And I still do. This song, if you have not heard Heaven, it is phenomenal.
Oh, thank you very
and
much.
You got to check out Breathing Underwater.
Yes, please.
Emeli Sande, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
Greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Thanks.